In the ancient times, when heaven and earth were still close together, when gods and mortals could speak as easily as neighbors across a fence, there lived a mighty ox, whose broad back and calm spirit made him both admired and misunderstood. The Jade Emperor, who was searching for animals to guard the cycle of years, had already listened to the rat's clever arguments in the first tale, and now he turned his gaze toward the humble ox. Unlike the rat, who schemed with nimbleness and wit, the ox carried no tricks, only strength, diligence, and a heart full of patience. This is the story of how the ox, slow yet steadfast, found its place as the second animal in the Zodiac, and why its tale has been remembered through centuries as a lesson in humility, labor, and quiet virtue. The ox was born in the vast fields of the earth, where endless grass swayed under the wind and rivers shimmered like silver snakes in the sun. Its horns were curved like crescent moons, its muscles as solid as carved stone, and yet its eyes glowed with gentleness. Farmers depended on the ox to plow their soil, for only the ox could drag the wooden plow through the stubborn earth. When men grew tired, the ox continued without complaint, walking step by step until the land was ready to receive the seeds of rice and wheat. To the villagers, the ox was a symbol of harvest, of life itself, and though they could not speak with it in words, they felt in its slow movements a silent promise. If you are patient, if you endure, the earth will feed you. One day, the Jade Emperor announced that the order of years would be decided by a great race across rivers and valleys, mountains and plains. Whoever reached the heavenly gate first would stand at the beginning of the Zodiac, and so on until the last animal arrived. The ox, hearing this, did not rush or boast. It simply lowered its head and prepared itself, for it believed that strength and consistency would guide it to success. Among the animals gathered, the rat, the tiger, the dragon, the horse, and all the rest, the ox appeared simple, almost foolish in its lack of excitement. But deep inside, the ox carried a quiet confidence. When the race began, many animals leapt forward with fire in their hearts. The rabbit darted like an arrow, the horse thundered with galloping hooves, and the dragon soared with clouds beneath its wings. The ox, however, set forth at a steady pace, strong legs pressing firmly into the soil, hooves splashing calmly through streams. It was not the fastest, but it never stopped. While others wasted energy in sudden bursts, the ox conserved its strength, always moving, never faltering. Days passed, animals grew weary. Some fought among themselves, some strayed into forests of temptation. The ox, alone in its silence, crossed valleys where the grass brushed its belly, and climbed ridges where winds howled like spirits. It spoke to no one, but the earth spoke back in its way, through the crunch of gravel, the whisper of leaves, the rhythm of rain on its hide. As the heavenly gate appeared in the distance, shining like a crown of stars upon the horizon, the ox realized it was far ahead of the others. The tiger had been slowed by rivers, the rabbit had hidden in the bushes to rest, and even the mighty dragon had paused to bring rain to thirsty fields. The ox, who never stopped, now led the race. Yet upon its broad shoulders clung a small secret, the rat. For while the ox had been plodding faithfully through the land, the clever rat had whispered to it, "Friend, may I ride upon your back? My legs are too small to cross rivers quickly, but if you let me rest upon your strength, I will be grateful." The ox, innocent and kind, agreed without suspicion. It thought not of rivalry, only of compassion. And so the rat sat upon its back, warm and safe. At the very gates of heaven, as the ox raised its hoof to step forward into glory, the rat leapt from its horns, scampered across the threshold, and claimed the first.